Good evening, everyone. It's Dakota from Everyday Life, the channel where we talk about everything in our lives. How's everybody doing today? Well, today I have an update on Diddy, and I have some weird, strange information on Diddy. But let's start with the update. Everybody knows that Diddy's locked up, and everybody knows why he's locked up, okay? Well, the jail where Diddy is being held has been raided. Okay, there was a raid throughout the jail. You know how the correctional officers go in and they toss the cells and they look for things that are not supposed to be in there. Well, in the raid, they found notes, and they found notes in Diddy's jail cell. Well, but you guys already know, before they did the raid, Diddy was in jail acting like he is the mafia, the mob, basically. He thinks he's Trump. He's just running the jail. He's got men fixing his bed. He's got men being jealous. I want to fix Diddy's bed. No, I want to fix Diddy's bed. He's using people's cards to call people. He's setting up third party. I mean, Diddy's been breaking the law since he got into the jail. And I'm not surprised. He seems like a kind of man, if he is a man, who likes to take control of the situation no matter what the situation is, because I guess $1 billion mindset will do that to you. Anyway, the jail was raided, and in the raid, they found notes in Diddy's cell. Now, I don't know if the raid was called for just randomly or if someone said you need to check Diddy's cell, but they found Diddy's notes. And the notes were some of the notes were the notes that he was using to help the lawyers prepare for his trial. You know, all inmates do that. And Diddy is no dumb man. And now he's sober. You know, I don't think he can get any trank in there. So, I don't know, his brain might be coming back. So, just imagine if you have notes and you want to give these notes to your lawyer to help prepare for your trial, because it's a big trial and it's a serious trial, and now you don't have your notes. You don't have your notes that were meant for your lawyer. So if you don't have the notes that's meant for your lawyer because they were stolen, well, not really stolen, but they were taken by the correctional officers. Not only were they taken, but they were given to the feds, who they were not supposed to be given to, because that is against the law. It's against the law to take a prisoner's notes and give them to the feds, the notes that were meant for the lawyers. So, because the notes were taken and Diddy did not say, you can take my notes, there was no approval there, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. It could lead to a mistrial. Now, things are so huge, I'm not sure what that means. I mean, I know it doesn't mean that all 7,000 victims are going to be said, sorry, too bad, so sad, go home because it's a mistrial and he can't be tried again. I don't think it's like that, but I'm sure whatever it is, it's not going to hurt Diddy. I have to do some research on that. But you know what? Doing research for Diddy's case, unless you're a lawyer, it's kind of mute, because it changed for us laymen. Things change every day with this case. Every day. Look, just 2 days ago, there was no raid. Now there was a raid. Just 3 days ago, we didn't know that there was a hierarchy in the prison, and Diddy was on the top of the hierarchy. You, and you make my bed on Monday. You, and you make my bed on Tuesday. So things change every day. So that's Diddy. Okay, so check this out. There's a young lady. Her name is, she's a really good content creator. She's a young lady. She's beautiful, but she is, I think maybe she went to Harvard or something, because she is an excellent content creator. Her name is Amala Ekpenobi. Kanala Epidobi. I like that name. Kamala, that matches with, I said Kamala. Amala. That's an African food. It's like a Nigerian food, amala. You dip your fingers in the amala, it looks like dough, and then you dip it in the stew, and then you eat it. It's so good. Anyway, Amala Epinobi. I'm going to call her Amala. I like that name for her. She, what she did was, I have a clip of her. She's a content creator. In her talk on this podcast that she's on, she said that her friend that she used to live with gave her a phone call and said, "Listen, there's men at your door. There's men at your door, and they want to talk to you." And she's like, I don't know. But I'm going to let you hear her side of it. But she said that there are men at the door, and they want to talk to you. So she talked to them, and check out this clip. It had to be people from Diddy's camp. Check it out.
I get a little bit of a text message from my best friend, Risa, whom I used to live with, and she's texting me saying, hey, there are two guys at the door right now, and they're asking about ads. I'll actually read the actual text that she sent me so we can get verbatim exactly what happened here. Hi. Being a bitch, that's what Risa says. And I said, LOL, can I just call you in 1 minute? I'm thinking, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know why two guys would be at your door asking about ads, but here we are in the story. So I finish up filming my video. I call Risa. It's been a few minutes at this point. Apparently these guys are still at the door. Immediately when I pick up the phone, she's like, okay, and when she picks up the phone, you're on speaker. And I'm like, what is going on? So one guy starts to speak up, and I'm sensing like a little bit of nervousness in his voice, but he's still there, he's talking. He's got what I would say is like a medium to thick-ish New York accent, and he's saying, we just wanted to come and talk to you about the things that you speak about on your channel, and whether or not somebody pays you to say the things that you say. And it was a very just vague question. I didn't know exactly how to answer that. So I answered back and said, nobody pays me to say anything that I say on my channel. You guys know we've tried a couple sponsors on this show once or twice long ago. Into everything that's being said. Okay? So I tell them, oh, I'm not paid by anybody to do this. Why is it that you're asking these things? What are you interested in doing or hearing? And they said, oh, if you were being paid by people to promote a certain message, we were here to, offer you something else. And again, they go through the topics that I talk about on my show, and immediately it's P. Diddy and his connection to other celebrities. So all the red flags are going up, in my mind here. Hairs up on the back of my neck. I actually shot Risa a text at this very moment in the conversation and said, something along the lines of, get away from these guys. I'll actually go back and read it so I know exactly what I said. Get away from this guy. Because at this point, only one man was speaking. Again, white man, thick-ish New York accent. Now, I'm probing this guy. Who do you work for? What is it that you're trying to pay me to do? Who are you inquiring about? What specifically are you asking me? Am I being paid to say on my channel? And this guy is just stumbling over his words. He doesn't know what to say. He starts saying, I watch your channel. I'm a fan of your show. I appreciate the things you talk about. And then he goes back to the whole P. Diddy and this topic and this topic and this topic. So whoever was with this guy, presumably his boss, and at least this is what he explains himself to be, a second guy jumps into the conversation. Now this guy sounds a little bit more confident than the last guy. And he jumps in and he says, well, we're just here to ask you whether or not you've been paid to talk about this specific topic on your channel. And if so, we want to know who is paying you. But now that we know that, nobody's paying you, there's no further information we need to gather, we're going to... Who, again, are you here to talk about? Who explains himself to be? A second guy jumps into the conversation. Now, this guy sounds a little bit more confident than the last guy. And he jumps in and he says, well, we're just here to ask you whether or not you've been paid to talk about this specific topic on your channel. And if so, we want to know who is paying you. But now that we know that, nobody's paying you, there's no further information we need to gather, we're going to see ourselves out and it will be okay. I keep pressing them. Who, again, are you here to talk about? Who is paying you to be here? Who are you asking about? Who do you work for? And they in the conversation sort of slip in that they were investigating, or they're investigators. Sorry for my foggy memory as to the exact wording of it. But that sort of put off something in my brain where I'm like, okay, so you guys are investigating whether or not I've been paid to say something, but also you're here to offer me money, but also you came to the door and said that you were inquiring about ads and whether or not I'm sponsored by certain people. So I directly asked them, it seems like you guys came to this door under false pretenses, and now you're saying that you're investigating something. So which one is it? Are you here to pay and take up ad space or be a sponsor, or are you here investigating something? In this conversation and say that they're private investigators, and they will not disclose who they've been paid by, who they are working for. But essentially the story that I got is that they are traveling around and I guess knocking the doors of different influencers who are having conversations about these topics, about P. Diddy and his connections to celebrities, to see whether or not they've been funded by somebody to start having these conversations for. So I'm asking them again, who hired you to be here? Who is the one who is making sure that you're at my door right now asking, not my door, but a door that I used to live at, asking these questions? They won't say who. Then I'm saying, okay, if you guys are private investigators, what is the name of your LLC or what is the name of your corporation? Give me that because you're willing to own up to the fact that you're being private investigators. Which company is this person paying to? They won't say. They even go as far as to say, we don't have an LLC and we don't have a corporation. Whoever their client is paying them directly to their name. Now, I did get names from these guys. I won't say the full names out on this channel, but they did give me 2 names. So we're currently looking into who these 2 private investigators are who are hired by some sort of outside organization or celebrity or firm or somebody to travel around. They would give no information as to the company that they work for. Apparently they're working, independent, but also in tandem, and when they get paid, it's paid to their name. And, I have no clue exactly what's going on here. I'm trying to think of any further information that I would have gleaned from them. They also said, since nobody's paying you, you're not going to see us again. We don't have any other questions for you. See, in this conversation and say that they're private investigators, and they will not disclose who they've been paid by, who they are working for. But essentially the story that I got is that they are traveling around and I guess knocking the doors of different influencers who are having conversations about these topics, about P. Diddy and his connections to celebrities, to see whether or not they've been funded by somebody.
How crazy is that? So, I mean, look, I'm going to call a spade a spade. Diddy has Reach in jail, and she's in LA or Detroit, or the men said they were in Detroit, now they're in LA. So they're going around to really good content creators like this young lady. Who else is a good content? Tasha K is good. Make It Make Sense. I don't know. Going around to these people do you think they tried to strong arm her? Did you hear her talking about that? That is weird. You can't go knocking on people's door. So is that tampering? I mean, and she put it up. She's not hiding it. She put it up on YouTube. So the feds or anybody can look at it. So, I mean, I can't believe that if this is Diddy, allegedly, if it is him, he's going around to YouTube content creators trying to see if they're getting paid to talk about him, which is stupid. Nobody's getting paid to talk about him. And if you are getting paid to talk about him, maybe I can pay you more. And if you ask me, it has nothing to do with paying. Nobody plans on paying anyone. If you ask me, it was to threaten her. That's what I think. I think it was to threaten her. And I mean, it would threaten you, because if Diddy has these cronies going around to different cities, and you know the things they've done, look at Biggie, look at Tupac, the guy whose car blew up, look at Kim Porter, look at the guy who was in the Macy's, the young man who was in the Macy's dressing room who got his mouth raped. Look at the Jane Doe who just had to give her real name. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So to me, that was a tactic to scare that young lady. And who knows who else they have gone to, but they just said, well, I'm not putting it up. It's too close. I'm not putting it up on YouTube. I was watching one young man's YouTube channel this morning, and he was talking about Amala's story, and he's sitting up there with two machetes. He's just saying, come on with it, come. This is getting weird. It's every day is something new with this Diddy case. Well, I just wanted to let you guys know that the raid at the jail cell has not Diddy getting out of jail, but it has mistrial on it. He's got good lawyers. I wish I had those kind of lawyers, but thank goodness I've never been in trouble. So it's got mistrial written on it. And Diddy allegedly has goons going around messing with YouTubers. What next? Tomorrow is going to be something different. I don't know. But I just wanted to bring that to you guys to keep you updated on the situation. And I will talk to you later. Please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. You guys know I'm a new channel and I'm trying to grow. And thank you so much for the people who have already subscribed. Have a good night.